here, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be telling you all the books I want to read in January 2020. Just a little warning, it is I think the 10th or 11th, and I have 13 books on this list. I'm currently a book behind because I haven't picked up a book this entire time. So let's get into this video so I can, start reading. The first book that I want to read and am reading is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the 4th installment of the Jack the Ripper series. In this book, they are in America and they are kind of upon a killer that is kind of redoing Jack the Ripper murders. In all of this, Audrey and Thomas are kind of in a relationship thing where Thomas wants to propose and it's this whole family situation. So while they're trying to solve a murder that is kind of copying her brother's kills, they're also having to deal with the whole courting and getting married and just like mystery letters that they don't know where they came from. So I'm currently reading this right now. I'm doing a reading vlog. I'm only 38 pages into it, but I know I'm going to be more because, like I said, I'm doing a reading vlog. And I just started this yesterday and I hadn't had much time to read it yesterday. But when I did, I got really into it, so I know today that I'm just going to sit down and I'm just going to read it. So hopefully I will like it, which I think I already will. The next book I want to read is Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. In the last video that I posted, I had read the first book and I said that I pretty much liked the fact that the two main characters didn't fall in love. And I'm hoping that this book they actually do, because there is a war going on and they are kind of the keys in solving the war and trying to get rid of the bad people. I'm really excited for this book because I really enjoyed the first one. I think the characters had a good character development and I'm ready to see more character development in this world because this world is awesome. The next book I want to read is Alice by Christina Henry. In this book, Alice is in like a psych hospital and there's a giant fire where she escapes, but she's not the only thing that escapes. There is like a dark entity that escapes with her and she kind of has to figure out who put her in there, who this like dark creature is, and how to get them out. The book after that I want to read is Red Queen by also Christina Henry. I don't know much about this one because I don't really want to spoil myself for the first book. So I'm just going to say this is the second book to Alice and I'm really excited to read this because I figured out that I really like Alice in Wonderland and the retellings. The next book that I want to read is In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Peterfront. I don't know if I said her name right, hopefully I did. This is about a girl that's kind of like in an academy and they are sent on this trip to this abandoned castle, and it's kind of a retelling of Clues. So there's a bunch of murders and these people are in the castle or like the academy that they're in, and they kind of have to figure out who is killing these people and if it's one of them. The main character is Orchid, and so we are kind of going through the story and her point of view. I have glanced at the book a little bit. There are more than one point of views. I think I saw Peacock in there once and Mustard and Green. So we do kind of get the perspective of all of the other characters as well. By the way, Clue is like my favorite movie, my favorite board game. I really like the idea of Clue, so I'm really excited for this book. The next book I want to read is After by Anna Todd. My friend Cassie had really got me into this movie and I was actually really interested about the fact that the author originally wrote the story on Wattpad. If you don't know, I wrote stories on Wattpad, so I was really inspired to read this book. It was actually supposed to be like a 10-book series, but then the publisher said that she had to narrow it down, so I think it's an only 6-book series. Obviously, this is the first book, and it's a thick one, you guys. It's very thick, but I really want to read it because it's about this girl named Tessa that goes off to college, and she meets this boy who kind of like plays with her feelings and like the edginess of her. She already has a boyfriend back home named Noah, and the relationship kind of gets a little rocky because of events that happen in the book. So throughout the book, we go through Tessa's point of view through college and how she's going to be changing because everyone changes in college. So this is pretty much a love story between Tessa and someone else. Obviously the person on the cover, which is kind of like a spoiler, honestly, if you haven't seen the movie. But that's just what I'm going to say about this book. I'm really excited to read it. The next book I want to read is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. Last month I had said that I read Courting Darkness, which was amazing, but this is the first book to the original series. I absolutely love this book and I'm actually going to be rereading all of the books, so those are also the next 2 books that you will see in this video. In this book you go through the point of view of Ismay, and she's kind of sent off on her first like mission to figure out who's trying to murder I think it's the Duchess, who is actually going to become the future queen. So the house, or like, I don't even know what the convent that she follows is Saint Mortain, who is the god of death. And so all of the nuns and girls that live under this household, or like the sanctuary, are actually the daughters of Death himself. They all have special abilities that deal with death, and Ismay can see certain things that others cannot see. She has certain skills with the crossbow. As you can see, there's a crossbow on the cover. And she actually has to kind of tag along with the Duchess's half-brother. And they go through this entire journey of trust, not trust, who's the killer, who could possibly be the killer. And they find out at the end, but I'm not going to tell you because that'd be no fun. The next book is Dark Triumph, also by Robin Lefevre. This is the second book that followed Grave Mercy. In this book, we are in the point of view of Cybella. She is another daughter of Saint Mortain, and so she kind of has another ability that others do not have. Obviously, this book is not as long as it's a second book, but it's still a good book. I personally did not like this one. This is probably my least favorite out of the first 3 books, but as I continue, hopefully, to reread it, I will get a better like understanding of the book. I understood the book well, but I feel like my feelings toward the book, it was really awkward because a couple settings and themes in the book were just awkward and weird to read. So hopefully the second time around, I'm going to like it a lot more. The next book is Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevre. This is the 3rd book in his Fair Assassins trilogy. This one was personally my favorite. The main character is Aneth. The story is kind of just a lot more intriguing because it obviously is a 3rd book, and I do love the point of view and the mystery of who Aneth is, and she starts to fall in love with a mystery person who she later finds out what his secret really is. Like I said, I personally said this one was my favorite, so I'm hoping it's going to be my favorite again. I know I love the love story in here, so I'm really excited to get back to that. The next book I want to read is Wendy Darling Volume 1 Stars by Colleen Oakes. You guys have seen a book review of this book on my channel, and I'm really excited to reread it again. I absolutely adored the series. So what I'm actually going to do with this series is that I'm going to do a reading vlog of it because I feel like my emotions towards everything were incredible when I read it the first time, and I haven't read it in like 3 to 4 years, so I'm excited to reread it again. We've all heard of the Peter Pan story, and so this is kind of like a twist on it, more like a darker twist that people weren't expecting. So Peter Pan brings Wendy and her brothers to Neverland, and Wendy finds out that it's not all as magical as Peter really told her it was gonna be. Well, it's magical, but it's not as like danger-free as she thought it was going to be. We're going to say that. In this book, Wendy kind of has to deal with a really moody Peter Pan and kind of the relationship between him and Tinkerbell and the jealousy that Tinkerbell has of Wendy, and it's this whole dark story that gets crazy that obviously if you read this book, you're going to understand. And if you want to hear me talk about this more, I'm going to leave the link to this book talk in the description. So hopefully you will go watch that to better understand this description because I'm really bad with descriptions, obviously. And I'm doing this as a pair because that's pretty much the next 2 books in the series. Because I don't want to spoil what the first book is about, this is pretty much the second book, which is called Wendy Darling Volume 2 Seas, and this one is called Wendy Darling Volume 3 Shadow. So as you can see, all 3 of the books kind of have like a different theme, and especially like the covers, they don't really give away what happens, but it's like very interesting to like what actually happens in the books. These books are really emotion packed, and I'm excited to read them again. They will also be in the reading vlog because I will be vlogging me reading the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd book. So I am really excited for that. The last book that I want to get to this month is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. I had finished the 1st book last month for a project, and I know that I want to continue reading on the series. I didn't like the 1st book that much, specifically because it was kind of like really short descriptions of the places, and there were just a lot of like short scenes that I didn't like. Well, I liked the scenes, but I didn't like the fact that they were short. In this one, Harry discovers that there is a secret chamber underneath the Hogwarts castle, and there is like these whispers that he's hearing, and someone is trying to talk to him, so he ends up following this voice into the Chamber of Secrets, and this whole mystery that comes unraveled. So those are the books I'm planning to read in January. I definitely won't get to all of them because it is the 10th, and obviously that's 13 books. I'm on my 1st one right now, so hopefully I get through a big majority of them, but we may never know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment down below what books you're planning to read in January. Like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. I will see you next time, guys. Bye!